everyone, it's Froggy, and today's the day that we're going to be starting our ending review for V. So, I went back and tried to do all of the emails, and they all timed out on me, so that means that I'm going to be getting the neutral ending first, which is a first for me. So I forgot last time I got 3 new messages, so we'll check those. I should remain calm in a situation like this, I know that, and I should leave no regrets, however, that was my fault. I hope you'd forget about it. Can't answer. I'm going to stay here all day until I find something related to Rika. I'm sure you prepared the party as best you could. I'm sorry. Thought we weren't having it. Mr. Han is apparently having such a hard time. I've never seen him burning with such heavy regret. I know this is a difficult time, but we should distract ourselves with something else. We have to force ourselves if we have to. Because I believe this sorrow would last with us as long as it can. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start going through the party, but on my own, you guys will get to hear my reviews of all of the endings. Okay, so let's start with a review of the neutral ending since that's the one I got. So it turns out that apparently the guests, I can't word today at all. So it turns out that the guests' emails will time out sometime before the 10th day, and usually I like to save the guests until like the 10th day, and then that way I can finish it off and then answer all of the emails before I start the 11th day, and then I'm good. But they had already timed out by the time I checked it, and in the other routes, the only one that ever timed out was the Gordon Ramsay guy. So you might want to do that a little bit earlier on. So let's start talking about the neutral ending. So we start with a radio announcement about the party being canceled, and all the guests are really, really angry, but Jumin apologizes for it. V feels bad about Jumin taking charge and wants to make it right, so he cancels the eye surgery and gets discharged from the hospital, which doesn't really make it right, but whatever. He says that he wants to make things right with the RFA and with his own life. He wants to live for himself, buy a small house in the city with a large kitchen, paintable walls, and with, the MC. And he asks us to stay by his side while he grows and changes, and we accept. Then it skips forward 2 years. V is praying for Rika to be happy, and for him to have enough love inside himself to keep us happy as well. And we wake up and call for V. We talk about the sky and our sleep, and he brings up that he's been working on new songs for his concert. So I guess he's a musician now, like his mother, but it seems like we're not a huge fan of his musical abilities. Even if we pretend we are, V can see through it. V starts getting really jumpy and sensitive about it, and he quickly changed the topic to breakfast and says that he made some pancakes from a recipe that he got from Jumin, but that he prefers his own recipe. So it seems that Jumin has become obsessed with pancakes recently. We still have options for some reason during this route, or this visual novel mode or whatever, the ending, which is kind of neat. I don't remember that being a thing for the other ones, but it's cool. I don't think it changes anything no matter what we choose. So he jumps to a new topic again, but we cut in and ask what the state of our relationship is. And he says that we trust each other, we gain strength from each other, we have faith in one another, but simply put, we're in love. He thanks us for staying with him through everything, and then it ends. So I guess, since he's praying for Rika's happiness, it's implied that she's dead, and, Ray died in the explosion. We haven't heard anything about that. I don't know how Seven's taking it, if he even knows that his brother is dead. I don't know. So let's talk about the good ending then. Everywhere online, I've been looking through it to see how many guests we're supposed to have, because for me, I usually just accept all of the guests that I have. Like, I'll just accept as many as possible, which is generally anywhere between like 10 guests to 20-something guests or whatever. I got the majority of the guests. I didn't count how many I had, but some people are saying that you need over 10 guests. Some people are saying that you need over 15. Some people are saying that you need over 20. I don't know. So just try and get as many as possible. Anyways, so the party's still canceled. Yu-sung is grieving for Rika, but he hears something about Rika being at the party venue and rushes over there to see if he can find her. And when he gets there, Rika is there, alive, and she's apologizing to the guests and handing them bottles of wine as an apology gift. She tells them to share the wine with their loved ones, and it'll make everyone happy, and to contact her if they want more of it. Uh-oh, that's not good. So Yu-sung quickly realizes what's going on, thank God, and he takes the bottles away, much to the dismay of the guests, of course. Rika's confused as to why he's acting that way, and Yu-sung finally admits that she's no longer the Rika that he knew, and he captures her. And he tells her that Jumin will help her, and that he really hopes that she gets better. The poor thing. He's so sad about the whole thing. I mean, he's lost somebody that he cared about so deeply. Again. That's like the, like, he has to deal with that. He has to accept her loss basically 3 times. How horrible is that? Anyways, so we cut back to V and the MC at the hospital, and somehow they already know about Rika. And V just feels really guilty about everything, and that it's hard to let go of the guilt, but he wants to. And he also wants to get his eyes fixed, and is willing to accept Jumin's help so that he can start fresh and find himself. The scene jumps again, but to V's mother in the past. They don't come right out and say it, but it's implied that she's thinking of committing suicide, until she ends up encountering, toddler V. So, and she's really happy to see him again, and it gives her life new meaning. So we get to see her happy and together with him, and, he's the reason why she decided to not commit suicide, I guess. So we jump ahead again in time to 2 years later, and the RFA organized another party. V has been gone for the majority of that time to find himself, so we planned the party without him. And we're at the venue, and everyone has something to do, and everybody, disperses to go and do whatever it is that they have to do, leaving us alone. And out of the blue, we hear our name being called and turn around to find V. And he looks so happy. I've got to say, like, this is my favorite look for V. He just looks happy and carefree. It's amazing. And he tells us that he doesn't want us to call him V anymore. Instead, he wants to go by his real name, Ji and Kim. And then he confesses his love for her, and he asks us to be with him. And that's it. I liked this ending. It was nice, it was happy, and I'm glad that he's happy. I really am. I'm glad that he seems to be, himself. And again, there's no news on Ray or what's been going on with Rika, if she's been getting help or if she got arrested, I don't know. So there's not really much to talk about at that part, but V's happy, so that's good. And we're doing parties again, and we're still part of the RFA, so it's nice. Okay, so let's jump to the bad endings. So the bad ending 1, to get this one, don't trust V. Don't flirt with him, be suspicious of him, just be a dick to him. But you do want to flirt with Ray, and you want to trust him and Rika. And you want to tell everyone in the RFA not to trust V because he keeps secrets and stuff, which really hurts. I feel so bad for him, But, we get to flirt with Ray. We're allowed to do that. And we need to be sure that we need to embrace Rika's devil when she asks us. On the 7th day, you're going to get a chat room called Before Charging In, which confirms the bad ending. So when we start the bad ending, we start with us and Rika feels close to us, and it says that we share a connection. Rika loves that we make her feel like a person rather than the savior. She tells us that we can join Mintai without the elixir or the ceremony. All we have to do is help her decide V's fate. So we head down to V's cell, where we find him drugged out of his mind, thanks to Ray. So we just decide to let him go. Since MC loves Rika, Rika no longer feels like she needs V or his obsession. So the scene jumps ahead in time, and it shows us Rika and the MC together in bed. Rika's reading, but the MC really wants to be intimate with her. Rika appreciates our straightforwardness, and then they start taking turns pleasing one another. I wanted a Ray end, not a Rika end. Ugh. I just want more Ray in my life, and I want a little less Rika. Okay, so that's pretty much it for that one. I don't care for that ending. I don't care for Rika. I mean, it would be okay. I would be okay with there being a Rika route, someday. That would be interesting. Again, we don't get to have female routes very much, and it's nice that in this one we're actually intimate. It seems like we're having a romantic relationship, as opposed to, of course, Jehu, who, we're best friends with instead of in love with, which angered me a little bit. But I just really wanted a Ray bad end. Anyways, okay, so let's move on to bad ending 2. So for this ending, keep telling V that you want him to love you like Rika. Ugh. And, you've got to be really, really mean to Rika and Ray, say that you'll destroy them, etc. You just got to be a total jerk to them. You'll get this ending when you get a chat with Seven called Winner 7 on the 9th day. That's how you'll know you got it. I'm just repeating myself. Okay, so the bad ending starts with V talking to us about his relationship with Rika, and he realizes that it wasn't how he loved her that was wrong, but that she was wrong for him. And the MC tells him that forcing his son-like love in a relationship was wasted on Rika, and that we would be much better. So then he asks us if he can love us. And then it skips to a year later, and V is having a photo shoot of the MC while she's having an orgy with a group of men. All the while, V is telling her how much he adores her and praises her darkness. I don't know what to think of this one. It was just kind of weird and random to me, and I don't know. I feel like I should be a fan of this one, but I'm just not at all. Okay, let's skip on to the third bad ending here. So this end starts with the visual novel mode where V wakes up in the hospital on day 10. But instead of getting, multiple options when the choice boxes come up, you only have the one option each time. So you just go through that like normal, and then it skips to the scene where Ray blows up Mintai. And then it skips back to V waking up again in the hospital in like a panic. And he had like a vision, I guess, or he dreamt about Mintai blowing up, and he starts talking about how he's in the mountains and where's Rika and all this stuff. And we're trying to relax him, and we get the options again like we did the first time with the two different options. And no matter what we say in the end, it goes back to him saying that, he can't remember the dream that he had about his mother. He knows that he saw her, but he doesn't remember what it was about. All he remembers is Rika and the Mintai blowing up, and he really wants to save her and find her. And he apologizes to us because he really wanted to be happy with us, but he has to go. So the scene changes to Rika, and she's at the apartment, and she is, thanking Ray for what he did in hopes that he's going to find happiness somewhere else. She has no idea that he's blown himself up. Like, that was his plan. She has no idea. And the doorbell rings, and she assumes it's Ray, but when she opens it, it's V. And she starts groveling to him and apologizing for everything that's happened and begging him to love her and punish her. And V... well, it seems like that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to stay with her, and he is going to punish her. And I don't know, I guess their roles would reverse or something. It doesn't actually go past that scene, but it seems like that's the way it's heading, where he's going to take her place and start abusing her and punishing her and hurting her just to get her to stay with him and not go after the RFA. And that's it. That's how that ends, which is completely messed up. So, I hated that ending, because that's just bad for everyone, and Ray's still dead, and I just can't. I don't like it. So, review on the entire route. It was alright. If anything, I fell more in love with Ray than I did with V, which is bad, because, you know, it's V's route, and I liked V, you know, like, sometimes. He kind of reminded me a bit of Yu-Sung, where he's just, like, obsessed with Rika, and, you know, wants to self-sacrifice, and he's a total pain in my butt, but I liked him. He was alright. But yeah, I don't know. I fell more in love with Ray and Vanderwood. I loved that little scene that we had with Vanderwood when we're on the phone with him and we call him, or not on the phone with him, we're in the chat with him and, you know, we call him handsome and he gets all bashful and stuff. It's so cute. I really, really want a Vanderwood route sometime. So that is it for V's route. I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos from me, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.